Today, Chicanx is defined as an American with Mexican descent, although Chicano/Chicana was once considered a negative, derogatory term with lower-class connotations, much like a slur. Our Mexican-American people decided to take the title of hate and turn it into a symbol of love, carnalismo, community, and culture. We'll start at what many consider the beginning. So after joining World War II in December of 1941, America was in need of cheap labor. In 1942, they began the Bracero program, where they provided temporary citizenship for short-term labor contracts. During this time, 4.5 million contracts were signed. More than 5 million Mexicans migrated to America, to which hundreds of thousands stayed. These braceros usually worked in agriculture and railroads. This program eventually ended because of political pressure and labor unions. One of these labor unions was the United Farm Workers, UFW, created in 1962, organized by Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, and other activists. This organization had the goal of defending the rights of farm workers by nonviolent organizing tactics. In 1965, the Delano Grape Strike began. Over 800 Filipinos in the Agricultural Workers Organizing Committee, AWOC, struck 10 grape vineyards around Delano, California. The UFW later joined in, led by Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, where they protested and boycotted Delano grapes. They asked for higher wages and better working conditions. After 5 years, grape growers signed labor contracts with the union. The contracts included pay increase, health, and other benefits. Much like inequality in the workforce, there was also discrimination in education. At the time, about 130,000 Latino children made up about 75% of the students in schools. They were forbidden from speaking Spanish, they were not taught their history, and they were encouraged towards vocational careers instead of college. Around 60% of Mexican Americans would drop out of school. Due to that fact, in 1968, the East LA Walkouts began, which to this day remains the largest student walkouts to have happened, totaling at around 15,000 students.
The administrators are saying that we're disrupting the educational process. That's not so. The educational process of Mexican Americans for over 20 years in East Los Angeles and throughout the Southwest has been disrupted by its failure to communicate with the Mexican American. That is the disruption. When 57% of the students at Garfield drop out year after year, there has to be a problem. We're not operating in a vacuum. There's social injustice.
These walkouts were just the beginning of a larger political and cultural awakening of the Chicano civil rights movement. The demands for social justice, greater educational opportunities, and an end to system inequalities eventually led to general improvement in city schools. After the political progress that resulted of these walkouts, Chicanos continued to empower themselves. Then, in March of 1969, the Chicano Youth Liberation Front decided to meet in Denver, Colorado. This is where they created El Plan Espiritual de Aslan, which became a foundational document in the Chicano movement. In this meeting, they officialized the term Chicano and established Aslan as the imagined homeland of all Mexican Americans. Establishing Aslan as the imagined homeland created nationalism, patriotism, and identification in one's nation. A month later, in April of 1969, there was a second conference at Santa Barbara, where they created El Plan de Santa Barbara. This was made by students and professors, which basically implied that education has to be a part of political consciousness in order to make change. The same document created MECHA, and it stands for Movimiento Estudiantil Chicanos de Aslan, and it is a club that is in most schools today. Chicanos have established an important identity of love, carnalismo, community, culture, and history. They've redefined what it means to be Mexican American, which I believe is expressed through one of Becky G's most inspiring speeches of all time.
As a 200%er, as a Chicana, a proud Mexican American, and representing two flags, I want to say this to other 200%ers. It may be a lonely road to pursue things that we were never taught. Some of our own might even make us feel bad for wanting more. And our own minds might even tell us that we have no place of belonging because we've been told que no somos ni de aquí ni de allá. But I know firsthand que si vale la pena, push through it. I promise you it is so worth it because without fear, there is no courage. And with that same courage, we can make impact.